Hello, classic crew, and welcome to today's... Sorry, that was a bit catty, wasn't it? Well, hello everyone. How are you doing? I've decided to branch off a little bit. I'm going to comment on a person and a video that I think has probably been covered to death, but you know, why not? The temptation is just too real, and most of the people I see covering it fall into, well, I don't want to just say two camps, but let me just say some of the characteristics. Some are just downright mean and belittling to this person, who we'll introduce in a moment. Others just really distinctly come from far left, or even just moderate left, from the left perspective, from the distinctly left perspective. I haven't really seen any libertarian women takes on it. So, hello, here I am, pick me, pick me. So here we go. We are going to be dealing with, and I probably will do more videos in the future. I find her intriguing, like to study. We are dealing with Ben Shapiro's sister. She runs a channel called Classically Abby. Now, it's going to be tough not to be catty. To attempt to be kind. Not that I can't be kind. It's really just hard to explain it. It's hard to critique without seeing like, you know, cat fight. But there's just something so better than thou.
Yeah, I'm fucking better than you, okay? Much better than you.
About the attitude. So it rubs me the wrong way, but it's not just that. It's a try too hard. I couldn't really put my finger on it. There's such a try too hard about it. You know, a try hard. So why don't we start getting into some clips and, you know, I'll tell you my thoughts. This is from one of her videos. I believe it's called, this will be really close, I'll get the exact thing in the show notes. I've had this sitting around for a while. I think 5 ways to be a better conservative. Something along those lines. All right, let's go for it.
Hello, classic crew, and welcome to today's video.
Okay. I know that was quick. I'm doing a lot of just really short, quick things. The classic crew. I don't think anyone in a million years made that name for themselves. You see, generally when you dub your audience something, it's something that grows organically out of an inside joke or just the sense of community you brought up.
Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
You can't just dub it so. It's cringe. Abby, it's cringe. Plus, classic. What do you mean by that? This is like something she aspires to that it just seems so manufactured. And it really is devoid of meaning. What is classic? Are we talking Roman classic? Are we talking Greek classic?
That's when men and women would march down the streets, holding gigantic penises above their heads as a tribute to their god of wine.
Because that would be really different from what you're trying to say here. It seems like she's equating classic with conservative or high class.
It's very expensive.
You know, don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Excuse me, Adam. Forgive me, Adam, man, for I have sinned. Let's continue, shall we?
Where we're going to be talking about 5 practical tips to live a more conservative life.
All right. 5 practical, I did 10. 5 practical tips to lead a more conservative life. As if that's a goal. I don't know. That just seems weird to me. I don't think I would ever make a video saying 5 tips to lead a more libertarian life. Woo! Again, it's the try hard. I mean, are you saying it or is it just me? I don't know.
So, what is a conservative life? A conservative life is a life lived with values, a life lived with meaning, a life lived with purpose, a life lived in service to God, and a life lived with community.
And that is distinctly conservative. How? First of all, I have to get this jacket off. I put it on because I thought Abby would approve. It's very classic. Much more comfortable. Not sure if Abby would approve. The shirt's probably a little too bosomy tight, but whatever. Nothing about that was distinctly conservative. That's the better than thou stuff. Like, conservatives live a life full of... I want to hear those again because, I don't know, let's just hear it again.
So, what is a conservative life? A conservative life is a life lived with values, a life lived with meaning, a life lived with purpose, a life lived in service to God, and a life lived with community.
Okay, the only thing that I think nearly everyone doesn't claim or aspire to is service to God. And there are plenty of people who live their life in service to God who are anything but conservative. And is she saying that someone who isn't a believer in a religion can't be conservative, or they're not a good conservative? This makes no sense. And does it matter which God? I mean, there is nothing in there that wouldn't apply to me. And I'm not conservative. If the pink hair didn't give it away. So, yeah, it's kind of like when some Christians give off, and I'm a Christian, they give off the attitude, you can't be moral unless you have my beliefs. I don't know. Value, meaning, purpose. Everyone strives for that, Abby. That's not something conservatives have a market on.
Conservatives believe that life is about real fundamental values.
Yeah, so does everybody else. I hate to break it to you. Everybody has fundamental values. Hell, even serial killers have fundamental values. They just might not be valuable values. But I'm assuming you mean worthwhile values, or ones that don't involve killing people and eating them. But let's not get too technical. Everyone has that, Abby. Not just you. Not just your classic crew.
We believe that we shouldn't just do things because they're fun, but we should do things because they're right.
Now, some people may differ there, and I think it depends on where you are in life. Some people do things just because they're fun, but for them, they believe it's the right thing for them to do most of the time. But I would say most adults, most responsible adults, conservative or not, don't do things just for fun. They do them because they're right. And if they could have fun too, why not? Again, what here is distinctly conservative.
So this is for those people who are just kind of starting out.
Okay, she makes it clear that this is for, say, college students. But I think I can still examine it, though I'm far from those days. I do speak with many women, or even men, anyone, or whatever, who are in that period of their life. And if these values are conservative values, it should apply at all areas of life. So even though this advice is geared to be practical towards young people heading into college, I think we can still give a perspective on it.
Number 1 is to live close enough to family that you can spontaneously travel to visit and see them.
And this is distinctly conservative. How? What if your family is awful? She does say at a different point that it doesn't have to be your mother and father. It can be a sibling. Well, then could it be somebody you chose to be family rather than blood family? And again, how is this distinctly conservative? Does she think like everyone else is like feral? They just run off into the wild and that's it? Has she ever seen a non-conservative? I don't get it.
The people that you surround yourself with when you are far away from family kind of become your substitute family. And if you're not around the right kinds of people, you may end up being steered in the wrong direction.
Threw up in my mouth a little. The right kinds of people, Abby.
Oh, did you just? Mm-hmm. And then you swallowed it. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you do your own editing, but if you did, you heard what you said. And I know sometimes I can say things that after it comes out of my mouth, I'm like, oh, no.
Did I just say that?
That didn't come out right. But you left that in there. The right kinds of people? Dear Lord. Okay, let me just get over it. Okay, there are bad influences in life. Okay, and everyone knows this. And so basically your advice is to stay away from people who might be bad influences. But again, how is this distinctly conservative? I would think most people would strive for this, and their definition of bad influence could vary. Plus, she had even said the people who are around you could become your substitute family. So what if the people who are around you are the right kind of people and they're better than your actual family? Does that negate your earlier advice? This is just so simplistic.
Number 2 is only go to a college or move to a city that has a community that shares your values and or your religion.
Holy echo chamber, Batman! Growing up and going out into the world and going out to college is supposed to be a learning experience, and you do not do that if you surround yourself only with the ideas you already know. It's funny, she seems to be advocating for a safe space. Even larger. A safe college and safe city. It's okay, Abby. You can experience the world. And if your ideas are the right ideas, and if the person has character, I almost say caricature, but I think that kind of fits here, but has character, they'll be fine. Okay? They'll be fine. Chill. They don't need to go into an echo chamber.
If there's nobody there who shares the same faith as you, you'll stray from your own faith because there's just nobody there to support you.
I'm a person of faith myself, Abby. But it almost sounds like you're saying, unless there's someone there to reinforce your programming, you'll get deprogrammed. If your faith is true and your faith is right and your faith is strong, it's nice to be around people who share your faith. But she made it a certainty if you're not, you will stray. Then what good? I think that says something more about your faith. And again, if you have that mindset, well, maybe that is a distinctly conservative mindset. Okay, I'll give you that one. To surround yourself with an echo chamber. Got it.
Number 3 is only buy clothing that really reflects what you believe.
How does clothing necessarily reflect what you believe? That just seems so... Listen, I thought that when I was in 9th grade. I don't really think that as an adult. It's just so very juvenile. Unless, you're talking about ceremonial robes where your religion requires you, to, like the Handmaid's Tale or something. I don't get it. So, okay, if you saw me in the beginning, forget about the anarchy symbol there, because that might have given it away a little bit, but...
Oops, my anarchy symbol.
With my suit. The pink hair, you might have gone, well, that's a little strange, but I looked very prim and proper. You might even say conservative or, I don't even know, professional, except for the pink hair type thing. I mean, does this somehow reflect what I believe? I mean, in some sense, sometimes maybe, but I can tell you, I just came from a board meeting, so I wanted to dress professional. I didn't really go, oh, this jacket, it so reflects what I believe. That blue speaks to my soul. And this, I mean, I like it, but I got it because it was at Goodwill and it was cheap. Because, you know, I be po. So maybe that reflects my belief in frugality. Let's see if there's more.
Don't buy a shirt that has a slogan that doesn't really reflect your values.
Like this? I'm set, Abby. I'm good. It reflects my values. You must approve. And how is that a conservative value?
Number 4 is don't do any activity just to be social. Stand by your values.
Okay, and how is that distinctly conservative? I mean, I still gotta wonder, has she seen any people that are not conservative or what she thinks is conservative? This is so two-dimensional.
Number 5 is recognize that marriage isn't just a nice thing and actually take the steps to make it happen.
Okay, not everyone should be married. I mean, I believe she's Orthodox Jewish. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not, maybe there isn't that in Orthodox Judaism, that they didn't believe that some people had the gift of celibacy, but that certainly is a thing in Christianity. Not everyone's meant to be married. Not everyone wants to be married. Are they less? Are unmarried people not conservative? And I assume that given your faith background and your family background, you probably think that homosexuality is deviant and shouldn't be expressed. Like, I doubt that you think gay marriage is a wholesome conservative thing. So are you saying gay people cannot be conservative because they can't seek marriage in your view? Because if they did, that would be wrong? Have you thought these things through? Listen, I didn't spend any time, obviously, with the exception of pulling out a cool shirt, planning this episode. And it's like, it's not taking any thought to be like, if you're trying to equip young conservatives, this is not doing a good job. Well, that's all I have for you guys. I'm going to give you the routine. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit the bell if you like this video. Also, please consider becoming a patron. It would mean a great deal to me, and I am trying to be able to put out more videos. The details are below. And also, you will be able to find in the show notes other details, like is coming up on the screen, where you can send me something. I love hams. I've gotten a ham in the mail before. Or an affiliate link. Start all of your Amazon searches there. There's a little cookie deposited, and it all gets credited to my Amazon account. Last, patrons only. I do book reviews. We're going through All Rise with Judge Gray right now. So become a patron for as little as $1 a month and you can get in on that goodness. And in the future, when I have a few more patrons, I will be releasing episodes ahead of time. So thank you and have an awesome night. Mi guapas de libertad.
You gotta take what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business, not because they want to do it.
It's forced, Abby. It's forced and it's cringe. Stop. Please, stop.